All-terrain vehicles, or ATVs, have become one of the most popular forms of motorized recreation in the country. People young and old enjoy ATVs year-round on terrain as varied as frozen lakes, wooded trails, and wide-open beaches. And while the majority of people ride strictly for fun, still others can be found at racetracks across the country, pushing their riding skills to the limit, competing for as little as a trophy or as much as the Grand National Crown. But for whatever reason you ride, it's easy to see that a big part of the fun and thrill of ATVs comes in improving your riding skills every time you ride, to jump higher, corner harder, and ride faster, all with more control. If you've seen a professional race, you know that the only thing more thrilling than watching a pro pitch his machine into a high-speed slide would be doing it yourself with the same control. We all want to ride like the pros, but what does it take? Today we'll find out by joining Mickey Dunlap, a veteran of the Grand National Circuit at the Powroll Test Facility in Bend, Oregon. For Mickey, practice doesn't just start with a stab of the kickstarter. There are important things to consider before you ride to make sure your time and money are spent improving your skills. To begin with, ATVs, especially high-performance racing models, require regular maintenance. If your ATV spends more time in the shop than on the track, you'll never ride like the pros. Spend time going over your bike, checking nuts and bolts for tightness and correcting any problems you find. Regularly checking items like tire pressure, chain tension, and oil level are all important to keeping your ATV running strong. Following the pre-ride checklist with this video will give you the confidence to push your machine to the limit. The next item is the importance of proper riding gear. Practice is the time to push your skills to the limit and beyond. The proper safety equipment can help eliminate the fear of impact while you're exploring the outer limits of your ability. This gear from High Point is an excellent example of specialized apparel for the ATV rider. Starting with the feet, High Point offers 2 quality boots to match the needs of the ATV rider. The ATV Trail boot, with features like cleated soles, is designed with the recreationalist in mind. The Pro Boot is for the professional racer who demands the very best in racing protection and function. Riding pants of rugged nylon and Cordura construction combine features like hip and knee pads to provide comfort, style, and freedom of movement and unmatched protection. The proper jersey will give added comfort in warm or cool weather while providing abrasion protection for the upper body. Coming in a variety of colors and styles, they have an option of custom lettering. Properly designed gloves allow for a secure grip, unrestricted movement, and protection from blisters, brush, and abrasion. And never ride without proper eye protection. These goggles offer excellent protection from wind and dust, and interchangeable lenses assure maximum visibility in all lighting conditions. Your head is the most vulnerable part of the body in an accident, and your helmet is the most important piece of protection. The Marushin VTMX, shown here with Kaze-painted graphics, is an excellent choice for top-of-the-line head protection. Fiberglass and Kevlar construction combines superior strength with light weight. The Jetstream ventilation system removes hot air and moisture from your head, keeping you cool in even the hottest conditions. Other features like removable chin bars, air scoop visors, and washable interiors add to the comfort and versatility. And the VTMX is Snell 85 approved, the most stringent helmet standard in the world. Finally, know your practice area. By walking the area like a racer walks the track before a race, you can remove rocks and debris, think ahead about lines, and make mental notes on what to look out for as you practice. Think ahead, and you'll be ready to put your complete concentration into mastering the basics of ATV control. Going fast in a straight line might not be that difficult, but wherever you ride, it's certain you'll encounter a number of obstacles to slow you down. Corners, jumps, and whoop-de-doos are the most common. It's how these obstacles are handled that separate the men from the boys. At the end of every straight lies the obstacle responsible for more ATV rider separations than any other, the turn or corner. Wide, flat, tight, and rutted turns come in all shapes and sizes. Mastering the basics of cornering technique is a must if you want to ride like the pros. In cornering, braking, throttle control, and especially body positioning play important roles. Here, Mickey shows basic body positioning and transitions for a right and then left-hand corner. On wide sweeping corners, the best line works from the outside in, allowing you to maintain the most speed. Before entering the corner, brake hard with both brakes, trying not to skid and downshift if necessary. Then hit the throttle and lean to power through the corner. The faster the corner or greater the traction, the more lean you'll need. The biggest cornering error is hanging off too far or too long. Lean just enough to counteract the cornering forces, then smoothly move back over the ATV to maximize traction. Hang off too long and your power goes up and wheels spin. For tight corners, Mickey uses a technique called the skid turn. This approach takes the quicker inside line and helps protect your position in a race. Mickey powers into the corner as hard as possible, then locks the brakes, grabbing the clutch to keep the engine from stalling. The trick is to initiate your slide from the skid with the right amount of lean, then drop the clutch and gas it to finish the corner. As in sweeping corners, minimize body lean and get back over the rear wheels as quickly and smoothly as possible. Power sliding into the corner is harder to control and will usually throw you wide. The rider hits the throttle early with too much lean, costing valuable seconds while he tries to correct. The skid turn, once mastered, is the quickest and most controllable way around. Jumps, big, small, doubles, and tabletops are the obstacles in ATV racing with the most spectator appeal. And while maximum air and style have their place in jumping, on the racetrack there's more to consider. On low-angle jumps with sufficient landing areas, a high-speed approach is the best for racing. Approach the jump at full speed, releasing the throttle on takeoff to maintain a level flight pattern. Then get the power back on when landing. Jumps with steep ramps take a different approach. Hitting the jump at full speed gives too much air and slows your momentum. Instead, brake hard before the ramp, blipping the throttle at takeoff to keep the back end from kicking up. Use your body to control the bike, minimizing airtime and getting the power back on the ground. Not all jumps stand alone, and more stadium tracks have at least one set of double jumps. Double jumps don't have to be taken together. But learning to handle even the most radical stadium obstacles with confidence can cut seconds off your lap times. To get an idea how much momentum it will take to clear the jumps, watch other riders. But the only way you'll know for sure is to do it. No guts, no glory shouldn't be your only rule, but in clearing doubles, half-hearted attempts are rarely rewarded. The first few times, plan on clearing the jumps completely. As your timing improves, work for rear wheel and then front wheel landings. On doubles, Mickey blips the throttle on takeoff and times his lift of the bike with the rebounding suspension. In the air, the throttle is off and Mickey uses his body to maintain a stable flight pattern. By matching the down slope of the second jump, his power is on the ground at the earliest possible moment. The easiest way to learn doubles is to practice tabletops. You can safely land short until you determine the correct speed to clear the top. Like doubles, accelerate to the base, then roll the throttle back. Blip the throttle at takeoff, then lift with the rebounding suspension. With practice, you'll be clearing tabletops and doubles with confidence. Whoop-de-doos or whoops are a series of small jumps spaced perfectly to give you trouble. But by using your jumping and double jumping techniques, you can negotiate these sections more quickly and shave seconds off your lap times. Approach the whoops as you would a jump. Keep your weight slightly reared to keep the front end light and controllable. Avoid too much air and smoothly power through the section. As your timing improves, you can begin to double sets of the whoops. Be relaxed, concentrate, and look for the best line. Getting out of sync and leaning too far back can be disastrous. In actual competition, properly negotiating the section can put you bike lengths ahead of your competition. While cornering, jumps and whoops are the most important riding fundamentals to master. For the racer, there's another important skill: the start. Starting is probably the least exciting skill to practice, but professionals rate it as one of the single most important elements of a race. The most common starting position will have you forward on the ATV to keep the front wheel down, moving back to maintain traction, then centering yourself back over the bike. Timing is the key. If you watch the starter and learn to anticipate the flag, it's possible to get a rolling start, gaining precious momentum. Back up from the line even a few inches. Anticipate the start and reach the line as the flag drops. Done correctly, you'll have the whole shot. Done poorly, and you'll be restarting from the penalty line. The roll start takes practice. Remember, even a bad front row start is better than a great start from the penalty row. There's no reason to use any skill until you're ready. For every professional racer, there's another young one just starting out. Even the 6-year-old needs to know the importance of proper safety apparel and to learn to take care of his equipment. ATVs can be a lot of family fun. With proper supervision and a professional attitude, kids of all ages can have fun improving their skills. And more importantly, doing it safely. By joining Mickey, we see that riding like a pro is a lot more than just learning to ride. The true professional takes proper care of his equipment, wears the appropriate protective gear, and practices to master the fundamentals. By putting some thought into your practice routine and following the suggestions in the video guide, you'll be on your way to riding with the pros.